learners, greetings of the day. I am your trainer Abhishek Ray. Today we are going to learn about sourcing strategies. We will be discussing on multiple strategies and how and when they need to be used. The learning objective is to get an idea of the basic sourcing strategy and, of course, as I said, the practical considerations for sourcing and choosing which is the best possible strategy available. So, the first sourcing strategy is the single sourcing strategy. Yes, as the word suggests, single sourcing means you will have only one supplier. What are the benefits? If you have one supplier, the supplier is very sure of getting a consistent business from you. And that is where he will provide you volume discounts. That is where you will leverage on the discount that you derive from this long-term relationship that you have with this single supplier. The next is these single sourcing also offers opportunity to collaborate. Collaborate in terms of joint research and development, joint work and analysis on the quality of product that is being supplied, and it also provides and gives you consistency. That is very, very important, because in this scenario, both the supplier and the buyer are very comfortable about the fact that there is a long-term give and take relationship that is going to happen. So this was single sourcing. Now, the next one is the opposite of single sourcing, and that is multiple sourcing. So to understand multiple sourcing, we just need to look at the disadvantages that happen or can come with having a single sourcing strategy. When you have a single supplier, the risks become very high. If in case for any reason, any kind of a disagreement or maybe any kind of a failure on part of the supplier fails or stops supplying you your raw materials or products, then it is a big, big risk. And that is where multiple sourcing strategy comes with its own advantages. It also can give you the price leveraging by making all the suppliers competitive to get the order from you. So we just looked at two sourcing strategies, one single sourcing and the next is multiple sourcing. Basically, how many numbers of source and suppliers you want to have at your disposal. The next the next two strategy are based on the geographical location of the supplier. So the first strategy is local sourcing. In this particular case, your supplier will be either present in your city or nearby regions or in your country. And the other strategy is global sourcing, in which the supplier can be located across the world in different continents. Now let's compare the pros and cons between the local sourcing strategy and the global sourcing strategy. In case of local sourcing, the benefit is speed of delivery, because the supplier is close to you, the travel time is less, so the speed of delivery is fast. This also means that the cost of logistics is also very low compared to your global sourcing strategy. So you get fast delivery and you get the delivery at a cheaper price. The next is simple logistics. Why? Because the moment logistics become inter-country or intercontinental, then the logistics become complicated. Why? Because you need to comply with the local governance and the local bodies. So say for example, a product that is coming from United States to Kenya, there will be 2 points where there will be 2 hurdles. First, when the product is exiting US, the product exit will have an entire procedure that has to be followed. And then the next, again, complexity will come when it arrives at Kenya. And that is where again there will be separate documentation required as per the government and the regulations of that country. So when it is local, the logistics become very simple. Even local supply helps you in ease of quality control. Yes, because you can actually, as a procurement team, as a buyer, you can actually go to their facility and check the quality of the product while it is being manufactured. The next, according to me, one of the biggest benefit, and especially in today's time it is more relevant, is the low risk of geopolitics. When you are sourcing product from other continent, other countries, you are always at the risk of the geopolitical situation, and you never know how it is going to turn tomorrow. It may so happen that your product delivery is indefinitely delayed. Another low risk is the environmental risk. The moment there is too much of a traveling distance, too much of a traveling time, the environmental risk is also there. There can be rains, there can be harsh weathers, there can be restrictions in the road, and those are the environmental risks. So these are quite many benefits that we saw in the local sourcing, like the speed, the time in which the material is available, the cost, the simplified logistics, ease at quality control, and of course geopolitical and environmental risk. But that does not mean that global sourcing is absolutely not to be considered strategy. Yes, global sourcing gives you access to the variety. Now, the moment your product or your service is complex, that is where you need to have an access to a wider market of suppliers, and that is where global sourcing becomes very important. Like from India's point of view, if I say, our car market depends highly on semiconductor sourcing, and that is where we have to go for global sourcing. Next strategy is the low cost sourcing. Its only and only aim is to achieve the lowest possible unit purchase price for goods and services. The strategy often involves leveraging intense supplier competition, buying in massive volumes, and frequently sourcing from low cost countries. Now, mind you, this strategy will only be applied for those products which are not very highly technical or which do not have very high cost impact. And that is where this strategy will come in. You may look at sourcing of this product from low cost countries, and of course this strategy will work on those products which you are getting in mass volumes, because that will also affect your pricing. The next is quality based sourcing to get superior product performance, reliability, and innovation at, of course, the lowest possible price. See, when it is a highly engineering or a technological driven product where there has been a lot of R&D put in or innovation put in, these are not products that will be available everywhere. So, and these are those products where quality is of supreme importance, and that is where quality based sourcing comes in. Now, you must also understand one thing in this. While choosing for the best possible strategy, you must keep in mind low price may come with hidden costs. Low price may affect quality. Whereas quality will always come with a high upfront cost. The best way is to see what product or service are you procuring, what is the impact, what on cost, what is the impact on the final product quality, how fast you need. All of these needs to be looked at, and then only a correct strategy can be devised. The practical considerations while choosing a strategy, the number one, of course, is price. But again, as I said, price will not always lead to a quality product. So the next practical consideration is quality. How important is the quality of the raw material or the service that I am looking for? I'll just give you an example which is very relevant to me. When someone needs to decide on giving the annual maintenance contract of their elevators, price is never going to be the final consideration. You will have to see the quality and the safety aspect of the service provider or the supplier, and that is why quality becomes of practical consideration. Third point would be delivery time. As I said, how fast I need the material, how fast it will or how much it will impact in my manufacturing process, and that is where delivery becomes very important. Fourth practical consideration is supplier reliability. You may get a very good price. The supplier may say, I will give you the best quality. The supplier may also say that I will give you the product and the quantity in your desired time. But is he reliable? And that analysis or background check also needs to be done before adopting your sourcing strategy. The last practical consideration is industry reputation. Not only the suppliers, but even the buyers. If you are a big brand name, you already have an industry reputation to look after. You cannot compromise that reputation by going after the lowest pricing supplier and saving some money over there, and actually hitting your reputation by providing a low quality output product. So industry reputation is important. At the same time, it is also to be considered that the supplier, does he have an industrial reputation? Sometimes I'll tell you with my practical consideration, if the supplier has a very big industry reputation, it is very much known that he will come with a premium price, and the buyer will be happily paying that premium, because he know that we will get a quality product because the supplier is reputed. In a simple way, choosing the right sourcing strategy is choosing where you buy groceries. Sometimes you rely on one trusted shop, single sourcing, the one who is just in front of you, the one who has been supplying you for ages. Sometimes you buy from several shops to compare prices. If it is a high value item that you're buying, you would go out there and check out certain floors and see what is the best price I'm getting. This is multiple sourcing. At times you choose a nearby store, the store I was talking, just in front of you, quick delivery, no problems in terms of logistics, that is local procurement. But sometimes there may be a special product that you're buying which is not available in your market, and you will go through your online channel and get it sourced from other country. That is global sourcing. So finally, I will end this session by telling you that no sourcing strategy is perfect. There will always be some loose end over there. The idea is to get the maximum out of the strategy that you choose, and it will be chosen based on the practical requirements and your business needs. Now, finally, in the nutshell, if we summarize this session, we have learned about the various sourcing strategies, their pros and their cons, and the practical considerations you need to have before choosing your right sourcing strategy. I hope this session would be fruitful for you. Let's meet in the next session. Till then, happy learning.